Hey y'all, this is Stacy with the Craft Room Diaries. Thanks for visiting today. Do you ever have a sentiment or an idea that you would like on a pocket or a document card, but you just don't have it, or maybe it just doesn't exist at all? Today I'll share with you a simple technique for creating exactly what you want. In getting together some items to document my niece's unofficial graduation from high school, I thought of creating this card for the layout. My sweet niece's intended graduation date was kind of bittersweet. It was supposed to be May 15th, and of course the ceremony is postponed due to social guidelines. But we wanted to make the day special in some way. At the last minute, my sister enlisted my craftiness to create a special event, kind of a South Louisiana style event. It was great, and I thought y'all might enjoy checking it out too. We planned a celebration with immediate family to create an unofficial graduation ceremony. We ended up pulling a utility trailer into their backyard to use as a stage, and we used the curtains from my game room as a backdrop curtain for the stage, which of course, they needed to be washed anyway, right? But the ceremony was complete with pomp and circumstance on a big speaker and an unofficial announcement presenting her as a graduate, and even a homemade diploma. I'm not usually an overly emotional person, but I could barely get through announcing her. I was so choked up for this, but it was all fantastic. I love making people feel special. But let's get started with this card. So the first thing I did was on a new project, I selected square because I'm going to make the background of the card. And it came up black. I changed it to white. And now I just unconstrain those sizes because I'm going to be making a 3x4 card. So I'm going to plug in 3 wide and 4 height. But you can make this in any size you want if you needed a 4x6 as well. The next thing I'm going to do is set up the text. I did it in several parts just so that I could manipulate the sizes. But went ahead and set up graduation checklists. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to convert it to the font. Well, I'm going to center it first. But then I'm going to convert that to the font that I want to use even before I sized it. One of the ones that I like, especially for school-related things, is called Chalk Duster. So that's the one that I chose to use. And we're going to go ahead and just size this a little bit to put it on the card. And I always have to go back and readjust sizes at some point. But we're going to set that up on the card. And then the next thing is we're going to grab the text again and do the 2020. I didn't necessarily want it to be the same size or even the same dimensions as a graduation checklist, just to give it a little bit of visual interest. You could probably also just use stickers if you wanted to layer this. Maybe just not even put the 2020 on it at all, but you could use some stickers or some raised numbers to do that, just anything to give it a little bit of visual interest. So next I want to find the boxes, the check boxes first. Okay, so I just went ahead and found square and kind of scrolled through those and picked the one that I wanted. I'm going to want this card to be all in black and white, but you can, of course, do that in any color you would choose. So I made this a little bit smaller, and I know I'm going to be using 4 of them. So I made it relatively small, and then I'm just going to go over to duplicate, and I'm going to duplicate that 3 times so that I have 4 of those boxes. And then move them around, which I don't know about you guys, but I'm constantly moving stuff around just until it looks the way I actually want it. But move that around, adjusted some sizes a little bit. And now I'm going to go back and grab text again to do the 4 different items on the checklist. So we're going to have cap, and I kind of sized that up a little bit because that's about the size of the font that I want. And then in order to keep them all consistent, I duplicated that so that they would all be the same size. And now I'm just going to use each one as a kind of like a template and just change the words by deleting it and changing the words and moving those into place. I like to do it that way. Just I guess I'm kind of real picky about it all being the same size. So we're going to change one to gown. We're going to change one to mask. We're not really sure. I'm assuming that their scheduled graduation is now, I think, going to be in July. Not really certain what the ceremony is going to be like, but I'm assuming that masks will be involved. And hand sanitizer isn't going to be going away anytime soon, I don't believe. Okay. And then with the hand sanitizer, I wanted to shrink that, the dimensions between the line spacing up a little bit just to make it tighter. Once I get this all sized up the way I want it, I'm going to do select all so that I can flatten it so that it'll be a print then cut file. And then I'm going to go ahead and send this over to the printer. Just a couple of tips when printing and cutting. I usually like to use matte photo paper for my print then cut features. I just find it makes a much cleaner print. Anyway, so when I send it over to the printer, when we send that over to the printer, we're going to make sure that we choose System Dialog Box, use System Dialog Box. That'll allow your printer settings to open up. That way you can actually change the paper type to photo paper. You could actually use, if you want a glossy finish, you could use a glossy photo paper if you choose. I like to use the matte instead of glossy. But once you get your printer dialog box open, just go ahead, and however yours works, just go ahead and change it from plain paper to photo paper before you print it. And I like to also put it on high quality. I just think I think it just makes a much cleaner, nicer print. I think this came out really cute and I can't wait to use it. So what kind of things do you use print then cut for? Drop me a note in the comments below. I always love to learn what my crafty friends are doing. I'll probably end up saving this little checklist card for the actual ceremony, which is scheduled for July. But thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up and share it with a scrappy friend. And if you're a new visitor to my channel, please consider subscribing. I hope you visit the Craft Room Diaries again soon, and I hope you're having a happy, scrappy day today.